Xenosystems Fragments. Fission. Nickland. Narrated by Skeptical Waves. This is going to continue happening, and to get more intense. The superficial cause is obvious. Both Michael Anisimov and myself are extreme, twitchy ideologues, massively invested in NRX, with utterly divergent understandings of its implications. We both know this fight has to come, and that tactical timing is everything. It's really not personal, and I hope it doesn't become so, but when monarchical ideas are involved, it's very easy for the personal as political to take a right-wing form. It's worth remembering this diagram, before going further. It suggests that divergence is essential to the far right, which yawns open across an anarcho-autocratic spectrum. Since a disinclination to moderation has already been indicated by anyone arriving at the far right fringe, it should scarcely be surprising when this same tendency rifts the far right itself. Then consider this. At outsideness at _Herlock_identitarianism, belonging, and community is what the far right is all about. Michael Anisimov, at Mike Anisimov, March 22, 2014. The strict outside-in complement to this would be something like, disintegrative social Darwinism through ruthless competition is what the far right is all about. A formula of roughly this kind will inevitably come into play as the conflict evolves. Momentarily, though, I'm more interested in situating the clashes to come than initiating them. Whatever the contrary assertions, and they will come, doubtless from both sides, the entire arena is located on the ultra-right, oriented vertically on the ideological space diagram, rather than horizontally, between positions whose primary differentiation is between the more and less right. Stated crudely, but I think reasonably accurately, the controversy polarizes neo-cameralism against identitarian community. My suspicion is that Michael Anisimov will ultimately attenuate the Moldbugian elements of his neo-reactionary strain to the edge of disappearance, and that his hesitation about doing this rapidly is a matter of political strategy rather than philosophical commitment. From this ideological war, which he is conducting with obvious ability, he wants neo-reaction to end up with the people, or followers, who I don't remotely care about, whereas I want it to hold on to the Moldbug micro-tradition, which he sees as finally dispensable. The only thing that is really being scrapped over is the name, but we both think this semiotic real estate is of extraordinary value, although for very different reasons. One remark worth citing as supportive evidence, because its driving ideas are exemplary. At _Herlock_ at outsideness, this whole community is filled with trads who don't give a flying fuck about neo-cameralism. Michael Anisimov, at Mike Anisimov, March 22, 2014. While I deeply value intellectual engagement with the smartest of these trads, I would consider it a complete victory if they were to abandon the NRX tag and rebrand themselves as Animisivites, or Neo-Evolans, or whatever, and depart in pursuit of a monarcho-traditionalist homeland in Idaho. If NRX was socially reduced to a tenth, or less, of its size, but those remaining were Moldbugian fundamentalists, working to refine the neo-cameralist theoretical model for restraint of government through patchwork exit dynamics, it would be strengthened immeasurably in all the ways that matter to this blog. It would also then simply be the case that media accusations of neo-feudal or white nationalist romanticism, accompanied by ambitions for personal political power, were idiotic media slurs. Sadly, this cannot be said with total confidence as things stand. The neo-cameralism campaign will almost certainly come first, but it is still only March, and nothing needs to unfold with unseemly haste.